Crest Memorial Cemetery, I'd say you have some explaining to do.
Daughter Jada died about 23 years ago, and we buried her body right out here in this spot right here. My family and I, we used to live up here in Augusta, but we don't live here anymore. Fast forward, the cemetery dug the grave site up. We bought 3 plots in this area. She was supposed to be buried in the middle one. They dug up the middle spot and couldn't find any remains. So they dug up the second spot and the third spot and didn't find any remains. The cemetery would have us believe that because it's been 20 years, it happens that everything that was buried in that casket has returned to the earth.
Now, you're not going to believe what they are doing with these dead bodies. We're going to be seeing some video footage from somebody from TikTok who is a gravedigger in the comments that he made, along with some other comments made by people possibly selling body parts from funeral homes. We're going to be talking about that. Very disturbing situation. Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this particular video on this particular YouTube channel. So, what is going on with these dead bodies? Okay, we don't have enough cemeteries to hold all of these dead bodies. And to tell you the truth, guys, I have never seen where a builder puts out a sign, cemetery coming soon. I have never seen it. Has anybody else seen it? Because I haven't seen it. So a lot of the video clips that I'm going to be showing you, they're alluding to the fact that these plots and these caskets are being reused.
Owner was caught secretly selling body parts behind the scenes. 46-year-old Megan Hess and her mother, 69-year-old Shirley Kosh, were operating a funeral home business and a body parts donor service from the same building in Montrose, Colorado. They used the funeral home to essentially steal bodies that were dropped off by their loved ones to be cremated. Megan dissected the bodies and sold the parts for profit to companies that used it for research and educational purposes. The funeral home charged up to $1,000 for cremation that never happened and lied to more than 560 families who received ashes from random people instead of their loved ones. And the companies that were purchasing all of these body parts from Megan claimed that they actually didn't know that this scheme was going on. But their operations finally came to an end when a former worker told police that the funeral home was conducting unauthorized dismemberments of bodies, and that's when the FBI raided their business. Megan pleaded guilty to fraud and was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison, and her mother was sentenced to 15 years.
I don't even have to step foot into a cemetery to understand what's been going on. I can feel it, and I've been noticing the patterns for a very long time. You guys have to keep this in mind. Death is a business. Birthing, that's a business. Life and death have been commodified for a while. And yeah, some of those caskets, don't look at my boob sweat, some of those caskets, some of those coffins are empty and they are being reused. The question, what's happening to the bodies? Listen up. Those bodies are being violated. Those bodies are being experimented on. Those bodies are being offered up. Those bodies are being sold. Those bodies are being consumed.
Girl, stop. You are grossing me out. I just want to let you know, you are grossing me out. Guys, there's a movie that was made in 1973. It's called Soylent Green. So it was made in 1973. Basically, the movie is about a bunch of poor people who are eating special food made by a company, and the company's name is Soylent. Their newest product is called Soylent Green, and everybody wants to eat it because it's supposed to be made from ocean plants. So in the movie, a police officer by the name of Frank Thorne starts to investigate a murder and finds out something scary. Soylent Green is not made by plants at all. It is made from dead people. The government and the company have been hiding the truth from everybody. So let's go to this TikTok video where this gravedigger is telling us something very scary.
Y'all want to hear some shit to really blow y'all's mind this morning? So, as a side hustle, I dig graves and graveyards and cemeteries across Bowling Green and surrounding counties. Something didn't set right with me today. As I was digging. The guy that's the director of the graveyard walked up to me, and he was like, we need to lift that casket up and get it even. So we put it on the tally and brought it back up. When we brought it back up, it come off even in a way, but it was crooked in the corner. So he's like, we gotta lift it. So I lifted it, me and him together. But the weirdest thing was, it was really light. Like, extremely light. Like, and I'm not a big dude. So I was like, you know, I told him, I was like, why is that so light? He was like, don't ask questions that you ain't ready for. Y'all, I'm freaked out. What are they doing with these bodies?
As a dad, that doesn't make sense to me. She was buried in clothes. The casket had metal on it. She had on shoes. But they're telling us that she's not here and they don't have any other answers for us. They pretty much just closed the conversation. I'm not really sure what else to do, but like I said, the dad in me will not let this just die. Again, this is Hillcrest Memorial in Augusta, Georgia, and I want some answers.
The way he phrases one part, I think, can be a little confusing because he makes it sound like they didn't find anything in the coffin. But if you pay attention, he said they dug in the plot she was supposed to be in, nothing, and then dug in the other two. And he also says, like, the coffin had metal on it. He's saying they didn't find the coffin either. They found nothing. And they're saying in 23 years, oh yeah, it just broke down. It all just deteriorated in the earth. And apparently, he's not the only person who's had issues at the cemetery. He made another video where he had received a comment from someone who said this.
This is some crazy shit. My mom's brother was supposed to be buried at Hillcrest as well. We had a whole service and everything. A month later, the coroner called us saying my mom's brother was still in the morgue and that they messed up and buried a homeless man instead of my uncle. What kind of craziness is that, man? That is wild, yo.
All right. Are we supposed to believe that his daughter died 20 years ago? He buried her in a casket. There was some metal involved. And you dig her up 20 years later because you want to cremate her and make a necklace for you and her mom. And are we supposed to believe that there is nothing there? No body, no ashes, no casket, no metal casket. Nothing is there. That is weird. That is weird to me. Now this guy here, this next guy, he's going to run some numbers for us. And you're going to see this math ain't mathing. Something is wrong. This math is not mathing.
Hey, I need help. I need math people here to check me. Has anybody else seen the video about the Gravedigger dude? He did it as a side gig. Check out the video if you haven't. Just raising some questions. I'm losing my mind. Okay, let's say they say it's between 24 and 32 square feet per plot for a burial plot. Okay, in the U.S. there's 144,000 locations of burial plots, cemeteries. That's 2.5 million acres across the U.S. The average unaliving per year in the U.S. is 3.5 million, with 56% of them being cremated. That leaves about 1.5 million people being buried. All right. So if we take that 1.54 million and multiply it by square feet, that's 36 million square feet. I don't know, maybe I don't know how to multiply square feet. I'm really trying to give the benefit of the doubt here. 36 million square feet it's 826,000 acres because there's 43,000 square feet in 1 acre. Can someone please check me and give me, I'm not being conspiratorial. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I've always asked questions about this, so I decided to look at some numbers. Can someone help me double check this and just tell me that I'm being an idiot or explain how this? Because you see that, right? I'm not tripping, right? Do you see this? Is this me? What is going on, bro?
So we got this Gravedigger on the run now. He's scared. He's being threatened by the company that he worked for, or that he works for. And then the caption above his head is from somebody who actually makes caskets And this person is also admitting that based on the material that they make the caskets out of now, it's going to be hard for a body to be held in the casket. So to me, it makes no sense right now to be actually buried. To me, it makes more sense to be cremated, because it seems like that your remains are going to come up missing eventually anyway, according to what this gravedigger is saying. And this is a very sad situation, especially when we were listening to the father whose daughter died 20 years ago. And you're gonna tell me, first of all, these are fighting words. I'm ready to fight. My daughter dies and I can't find her body, and you're gonna tell me that the metal casket I put her in has disintegrated in 20 years? You better go somewhere with that. What do y'all think? Put it in the comments.
Y'all, part 2 to the video. It's got about 3.3 million views as of right now. A lot of people seen it. I got people writing me, I got people calling me. Even the people I was talking about in the video. I've got to be all the way honest with you guys. When I made the video saying that casket was light, that wasn't something that I did just because. The reason why I did it is because it's becoming a pattern. Since COVID, this industry has 100% changed. I'm not going to sit up here and act like that I know what they're doing. But I know it ain't right, and I know I'm going to find out. I don't know where this journey might lead me, trying to figure out what's going on. But I feel like that all my life, I've wanted to know the truth about everything. And while everybody else was living this fairy tale, I've always known that this world is off. We're in spiritual warfare, y'all. They went down to the materials where it's nothing. I mean, literally, and it's cheap. So before you go out and spend thousands of dollars on a casket, do your research on what it's made out of, what you're getting, because it's important. You know, I don't think that this is happening all over the country. I think it's just certain places. I bury in 3 states. But truth be told, Tennessee is where I'm seeing the most of this at. This wasn't the first time that I felt this, and this wasn't the first time something's been off. I know a lot of y'all today, and some of y'all are skeptical, and a lot of y'all might find this hard to believe, what I'm saying. But just a little statistic to kind of wake y'all up on something. There's 144,000 cemeteries in America. Now, how in the world, with all the people that's come from different timelines, do they all fit in something like that? Not only that, you can say, well, some people's getting cremated. Cool, that's fine too. Think about all the people that died in one city during COVID. The numbers are staggering. The funeral homes was having to put people in ice trucks in California. If you don't believe me, go look it up. And we're sitting up here wondering, like all of us are, what's going on. I don't know what's gonna come out of this, y'all. I might lose my job. Anything might happen. I really don't care. But I just wanted to drop those statistics. 144,000 cemeteries. There's no way, bro. The math ain't mathing. Y'all, they just silenced the last half of my video when I was really getting to a point. Like, literally right now, I'm going out of town because I don't feel safe.
You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.